Hmm? Like going like.
Namaskar and welcome to the teachers of KVS and viewers across the country joining the webinar on Indian knowledge systems, strengthening adaptive development and humane aptitude for national advancement. Sadhana Saptah is being observed from 2nd to 8th of April 2026, a week of learning engagements aimed to reinforce a culture of continuous learning in government and accelerate engagement in the digital learning ecosystems. This week coincides with completion of 5 years of Mission Karmyogi, providing an opportunity to review progress while strengthening the national capacity building ecosystem. As a part of Sadhana Saptaha, Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Zonal Institute of Education and Training Bhubaneswar is organizing a webinar today on Indian knowledge systems. Today, we have our distinguished guest speaker, Colonel Professor Prafulla Kumar Mohanty ji, with us for enlightening us on this significant topic. Sir, namaskar and welcome to the webinar. Before we start the presentation, let me give a brief introduction about our distinguished guest today. Colonel Professor Prafulla Kumar Mohanty is former Vice Chancellor of Khalikot Unitary University, Brahmapur, Odisha. Sir has also served as Professor, Head and Dean, Faculty of Science, Postgraduate Department of Zoology, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar. Sir, in fact, started his teaching career as a lecturer in 1981, worked as senior lecturer, reader, professor, and finally, prestigious post of Vice Chancellor of Khalikot Unitary University, Berhampur between 2020 to 24. Sir has done extensive research in the field of cytogenetics and guided over 35 research scholars for completing their PhDs. Sir has more than 576 scholars guiding them to complete their PhDs and authored over 37 books. Sir is also honored with several state and national level awards and published many journals in reputed national international science journals. Sir was also conferred with Colonel Commandant rank of NCC by Ministry of Defence, Government of India in the year 2023. Sir, we are very happy to have you with us today for this webinar. And before you start the webinar, let me give instructions to our viewers. Viewers can use the chat box option to give their queries. Those queries will be addressed towards the ending of this webinar. Now over to Mohanty ji for the presentation.
A very good morning to all of you. I'm really very honored and privileged to have an interaction and to have a refreshment of my brain by browsing on the topic Sadhana Saptaha, emphasizing on practice. When the introductory part was started, actually, I was thinking and analyzing what exactly is sadhana. So, sadhana means tapasya is an example of sadhana. Practicals are the examples of sadhana. Teaching skill an example of sadhana. So it is really very nice and exciting and also encouraging that Government of India has given emphasis on practice. India is practically very famous and significant in the globe as far as this particular practice or sadhana is concerned. Now, what exactly has happened in our country is there is a small problem when things were happening continuously and systematically. It was happening in an organized way. But in course of time, with the introduction or imbibing knowledge from the western part, actually, somewhere some mistake took place for which we started ignoring or forgetting our past, our tradition, our culture, our nature, our behavior, our structure, and so on and so forth. That's why the scenario that you experience, the scenario that you feel, the situation that you realize is completely different uh, from our past. Now, before coming to that, actually, let me briefly explain about knowledge, because emphasis is given on, as far as this topic or this particular saptaha is concerned, the week is concerned, the topic focuses on Indian knowledge system. I'm extremely happy that Government of India has again come back and thought of the situation intensively and exhaustively as to our previous history, previous culture, previous tradition, previous science, and previous aspects of our Indian lifestyle. Now, let me tell you what exactly is knowledge. According to our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, knowledge is, he has given a very beautiful formula. He has given, expressed in terms of mathematics, knowledge is equal to courage plus righteousness plus creativity. With this particular statement or the basis given or framed or coined by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I would like to add one more thing. Knowledge is equal to courage plus righteousness plus creativity plus confidence. In fact, those who are knowledgeable, their level of confidence is extremely high, and those who are not knowledgeable, the level of confidence is not high. Now, let me tell you what exactly is the origin of the term knowledge. The term knowledge is derived from the word Old English non, CNAWN, which is a term of 12th century, the meaning of which is to recognize, to understand, or to acknowledge. I repeat, actually, the term knowledge is derived from the 12th century Old English term non, CNAWN, the meaning of which is to recognize, to understand, or to acknowledge. We have to see the beauty of this particular term. The meaning is, if you look at the term, the meaning is to recognize, to understand, to acknowledge. If you look at another aspect, actually, if you look at Proto-Indo-European root, the origin is GNO, no, the meaning of which is to know. But if you look at another aspect, actually, there is a term science. The term science has got its origin from the Latin term scientia, the spelling of which is SCIENTA. The Latin origin is SCIENTA, scientia, the meaning of which is to know or knowledge. We always believe knowledge means science, but practically speaking, knowledge is everywhere. Even an experienced person who may not be having certificates, black and white certificates, but by virtue of an experience in a particular field, maybe carpentry, maybe artist, maybe art, maybe photography, maybe any caption designing, everywhere you will definitely find the flavor and glamour of knowledge, or the flavor or the beauty of knowledge or science. So science is everywhere. So therefore, we have to seriously think of a situation or remember the origin of the term science. The origin is scientia, the meaning of which is knowledge. Now, if you look at the second slide or the next slide, we will find what exactly is the significance of Indian knowledge system. Now, Indian knowledge system is appreciated, is recognized across the country, across the world actually. Strictly speaking, across the world. Everywhere, people acknowledge the talent of Indians. Therefore, today you will find Indians in the whole world. Highest number of Indians are found in, you will find in USA, because they are the talent hunters. Indian brains are beautiful brains, skilled persons actually, skilled personalities. Therefore, these people, Indians, are found all over the world actually. Now, what is the significance of Indian brain, Indian personality, or Indian knowledge, or Indian knowledge system? Indian knowledge system was absolutely and perfectly based on some seeds, and particularly speaking on six seeds, six number of alphabet seeds. What are these? Number one is culture. Number two is congregation or unity. Number three is continuity or sustainability. Number four is caring or sharing, or both caring and sharing. And number fifth is consciousness. And sixth one is conservation. I repeat, if you look at this hexagonal structure, which focuses on 6C, these are 6Cs speaking on, telling on culture, congregation, continuity, caring, consciousness, and conservation. Indians had believed they were not literate like us, actually, particularly like me, but their experience, their observation was so much enormous and colossal. These particular six C's have been developed from their experience and observation. Now, if you look at the next part, we will see the strength of the Indian knowledge. This is a triangular structure you will find, which is designed and developed by me. This speaks of one thing, the strength of the Indian knowledge. Why are people outside the country, outside India, appreciate, believe, and acknowledge and emphasize on Indian knowledge? This is being repeated this time, this year, absolutely very seriously. Indian knowledge is strengthened because of analysis, number one. The second one is because of observation, and the third one is experience. So this analysis, ANALYSES, this is the plural form of analysis, ANALYSIS. So analysis is singular and analysis is the plural term. So Indian knowledge actually is extremely powerful because of uh, the analysis, observation, and experience of Indians. And we have to hire, we have to inculcate, we have to irrigate, and we have to cultivate this particular practice from our ancient, experienced persons who were experienced, who were knowledgeable by virtue of their analysis, observation, and experience. It's my sincere request, my dear audience, my dear experienced professionals, that we have to look back, we have to share, we have to realize the gravity and weightage of the ancient knowledge, observation, and experience of our great people who were not great certificate holders, but but they were better, knowledgeable person, at least than me, much efficient actually. Let us see the application. This particular slide speaks of or tells the applications of Indian knowledge. Now let me bring you all to our traditional aspects for which India is extremely famous across the world. I have given emphasis on my own field. This particular circle, this particular pie chart may be said actually, focuses on four segments. The first segment speaks on food, Indian food. The second quarter speaks on Indian health. The third segment, third segment of the chart speaks on agriculture, and the fourth part speaks on nature actually. Indians emphasized, what I would like to say or emphasize is, Indians emphasized these four aspects for which they were healthy and they were mentally wealthy. There is a saying, knowledge is power, There is a saying, health is wealth. But most of us today, most parts of the world, they believe in the reverse process. Wealth is health. My dear participants, my dear friends, my dear colleagues, my dear knowledgeable persons of India, I would like to say, I would like to emphasize on a particular point that we are definitely knowledgeable. We have to revive it, and we'll be extremely knowledgeable and healthy, provided we simply look back and we simply look back our food, look back our health, look back our agriculture system, which is absolutely dependent on health actually and nature. Now, let me give some examples. Let me start from the fourth quadrant. The fourth quadrant speaks, fourth quadrant of this particular picture of picture number 3. The fourth quadrant speaks of nature. Nature means our environment. There was a time when our grandparents or ancient generations, they were first of all, when they wake up, leave the bed actually, they extend a pranam to the nature actually. And the first pranam is extended to the sun. Then they take the complete their routine activities, and they worship the sun by offering water from the river actually. So this speaks of the attraction, the affinity, the attachment towards the nature, because at that time Indians had strongly realized because of the nature actually they're surviving perfectly. Nature means air, water, soil, plants, hills, rivers, forests, so on and so forth, particularly flora and fauna. Now, what exactly is the central theme of the nature is, when the plants are there, actually forest is there, we're getting oxygen. When the water is there, actually, it was perfectly pure. We're getting pure water actually, which is, I mean, it doesn't have any contamination or infection or doesn't have chemicals. And when we look at the, hills and other things, we find a good forest. Now, if you look at the term forest, actually, I put a question to all of you. What exactly is a forest? I do not want the definition of forest actually. Even then, I will tell what exactly is a forest. But if you look at the term forest, this has got its origin from the Latin term foris, Foris. The meaning of, you look at the term given by the old people actually. Foris means away from the door. So if you look at the definition of the forest, you will find a large tract of land, large tract of uncultivated land, having trees, bushes, and organisms, and animals also. Animals are there when the forest is there. When the forest is not there, actually, animals will never be possible. Animals will never be found in the forest. Today, since we have destroyed the forest, since we have degraded the nature, since we have fragmented the nature, actually, you will notice one disaster actually, one serious aspect. These animals are coming to our habitat, these animals are coming to our residence, these animals are coming to our territory and attacking us. The beautiful example is the crystal clear example of the attack and snatching of the material and food material, etc. You can experience and notice by bear, by elephant, and by monkeys. At least these three particular animals are coming and attacking and snatching. Particularly, the monkeys are snatching in the human territory. They're coming and snatching so nicely. You cannot know what exactly is the brain and how are they snatching and cheating us and taking our own food material for their own survival. Because in temples and other places in nature, they do not get any fruits, at least in jungles, in their habitat, and particularly in temples at the time. After worshipping nature and God, they were offering the food materials to the monkeys because they were believing they are Hanumans, they are the natural animals, they should survive. So that was a beautiful example to take care of the nature and take care of our animals. who were just around us, and we were enveloped by this beautiful green nature actually, and green and natural animals. Now this is going to spoil us, and time is coming. Look at the dimension of attack by elephant actually. They are not they are not available in their own fragmented habitat, coming to our habitat, destroying, degrading, and devastating our nature, and snatching and taking away our paddy and other grains. So nature is number one. Nature must be respected. If we respect nature, we will be definitely respected by nature. And we should not forget one thing: nature is the best teacher. Our teachers are there actually. I am being trained by my great teacher is fine, but nature is the most stable, sustainable, and compatible teacher actually, from which we can observe, we can see, and we can grab that real happenings, real science, and that's the best laboratory of the world, that we should not ignore, that we should not forget actually. So nature must be respected. If we respect nature, nature will definitely respect us, and we will survive perfectly well. So I completed the fourth segment. Now, if you look at the third segment, agriculture actually. Now, if you look at the compartment or department of agriculture or agricultural products, you will find one thing. You will find hybrid sort of paddy or any agricultural product. You will find the products which is mixed with pesticides, herbicides, miticides, fungicides, all sides means we are killing fungus, killing insects, killing organisms, and spoiling the nature, spoiling the soil. Soil is another, part which is being worshipped by Indians since beginning. Now we have spoiled the nature, structure, architecture, and feature of the soil. So that must be protected actually, without adding, without mixing, without intoxicating our soil, which gives life to us, because soil is the origin of all plants and all herbal products actually. So agriculture must be well taken care of. There was a time, if you look at agricultural part actually, when we are preserving agricultural product like rice, paddy, grams, pulses, cereals, etc. At that time, we are using herbal products. We were collecting some bay leaf, neem leaf, all these leaves having some aroma or flavor. And because of the presence of this particular aroma, when we put these aromatic plants or the leaves, that was killing, that was hating. I mean, that was disliking. That was being disliked. That was disliked by this insect or these creatures actually, who are spoiling or taking out our agricultural products. So again we have to see the again we have to come back to the nature actually, and natural products, so that we should collect this natural product from the nature. We can put it in our products or the food products, and that can be well taken care, that can well taken care of our cereals, pulses, and other products. So this is then the hybrid seeds, hybrid vegetables, hybrid products. Now people believe today, some fools like me, they go to the market and purchase grapes, watermelon, and other fruits which do not have seeds, seedless fruits. If I will be seedless, I cannot reproduce. That we have to forget. Supposing I don't have sperms, supposing I do not have ovum actually, can it be possible on our part to give birth to a young man? Can it be possible to have next generation actually? So, my dear colleagues, my dear friends, look at the situation. We should not emphasize on purchasing. If I will be seedless, I cannot reproduce. I mean, seedless. Supposing I don't seedless have supposing I do not have ovum actually. Seedless. Can it be possible? Seedless grapes, to seedless watermelon, etc. Can it be possible to have next generation actually? So next time, my dear, so any vegetable means there must be seeds. We have to again come back, and we have to think of production having seeds, so that we can throw the seeds at any place, any soil, and forest can be grown, insects can be attracted, and we can get the products in the original form. So this is with respect to agriculture actually. Natural agricultural system should be encouraged, should be insisted on. Our farmers, they must be trained properly to have production in a natural form, to have production which was being cultivated or developed in our ancient Indian system. And that was completely based on experiential knowledge. Our farmers are more scientific, more systematic, more organized than some scientists like me actually, because their knowledge in the field is enormous. Knowledge in a natural form to a production which was being cultivated or developed science of cultivation, irrigation, propagation, and production actually. Next is our health. That's the second compartment of this particular chart of the circle. Now, what exactly is health? Today, our health is absolutely lost. In India and in Asia, and Asia in particular embraces highest number of diabetic patients, a good number of patients having cardiac problem, cardiac disorder actually. There are three problems with Indians. Number one is cardiac failure. Number two is Alzheimer's and Parkinson's problem, and number three is attention deficit disorder or ADD. If you look at our children, you will find 3I syndrome. 3I, English alphabet I. What is this 3I? In most of the students today, you will find because of the convenience food or fast food, their health is lost. 3I, three I's are first one is impatience. Second I is instability, and third I is irritability. Today, you think of yourself actually. Are you impatient? Are you unstable? Are you irritable? And again, take yourself back to your children actually. Take back yourself to your classroom. You'll find students cannot sit silently or patiently at least for 10 to 15 minutes. They must be nodding. There must be some tingling in the neck region. This tingling is caused due to Chinese salt, monosodium glutamate. In most of the food items today you will experience, you will find Chinese salt gives the fifth taste. That was discovered by a scientist from Japan, Ikeda by name. And this fifth test, monosodium glutamate, its trade name is different actually. Different, and in each packaged food, you will find this monosodium glutamate today. So, let me come back to the definition of health. What is health? Health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of diseases or infirmity. I repeat, health is a state of physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being. Not merely, this is not there in the slide, of course, actually. This I am telling, I think you will definitely enjoy. Health is, this definition is the definition of World Health Organization. Health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, spiritual, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of diseases or infirmity. We always feel, most of us, some people like me, or at least they feel, if I'm suffering from disease means health is bad. But we have to look at past three segments actually. We should emphasize on, we should look at, we should observe, we should notice the status and the situation of or dimension of physical part. Am I physically right? Am I mentally right? Am I talking to my friends, my neighbor, my wife, my husband, my students, particularly my students in classroom properly? Are my students happy or comfortable with my talkings, with my dealing, with my manner, with my attitude, with my temperament? So that is the mental thing actually. Social means, are we properly happy? Have we connected? Are we connecting ourselves properly? Am I physically right? Or my neighbor? Am I mentally right? Or my friends? Am I talking to my friends? These things are to be looked at. Am I devoting some of my valuable time towards the spiritual activities, yoga, spiritual activity, prayer? That is the most significant aspect, spectacular aspect actually of Indian knowledge, Indian practice, Indian sadhana. Sadhana means I believe very strongly. Sadhana means yoga, prarthana, exercise, prayer, and particularly the am I devoting some of my valuable time towards the spiritual activities? Yogis. We have to look at their health. How are they maintaining their health? They believe in taking simple food, nutritious food, not fast food or convenient food. Finally, I should come back to the first segment, food. Unfortunately, I do not know. I would like to know from all of you actually. I do not know. I have never seen in my life actually the definition of food existing in any textbook so far, right from KG to PG. I do not know what exactly is food, but I have told actually food means balanced diet. Food means good food. Food means chicken. Food means noodles. Food means chocolate. Food means ice cream. Food means burger. But my dear colleagues, my dear friends, are these all foods? This should be answered by you. I cannot say. I do not know. So let me take you back to the definition of food. Indian is absolutely famous for the traditional food, herbal food. I mean, if you look at the breakfast, right from breakfast to dinner, they were preparing everything in the home. So there was a time when our traditional people, particularly Indians, they were taking their food in the home and they are using toilet outside the open field. But today, you will find the diametrically opposite situation. We Indians prefer to take our food outside or in the market actually. We prefer to take the convenience of junk food or the fast food, and we have a beautiful toilet in our home to accumulate or pile up the fecal matter. So this is the difference of ancient time and today's scenario. Now let me take you back to the definition of food. What is food? There are four segments of food. If you look at the definition, first one is that which is digested. Second is that which nourishes the body. Third, that which promotes growth and development. And fourth segment is that which doesn't create any health hazard. So what is food? Let me start from the backside. That which doesn't create any health hazard. So when we were taking food actually, we should look at the situation. Is it all right? Does it not have any preservative, acidulant? Does it not have any coloring agent? Does it not have any additives which are injurious or harmful for the health? All these fast foods, packaged food, it all contains actually some chemicals, and these chemicals actually create imbalance in our body. So, my dear teachers, actually, my dear future creators, always talk to your students. Try to take the food which must be homemade, which must be prepared by the mother or the people who are available in the home, not fast food or junk food. That spoils the body, that imbalances the body, that creates different varieties of health disorder, that creates disease actually. Disease means dis-ease, means not comfortable. So this disease is caused due to mainly Indians are right now suffering enormously, seriously with variety of disease. What are the diseases? Number one is attention in the children. You will find attention deficit disorder. Number three is inattentiveness. Number three is they are not stable and they are not confident actually. They are not attentive in the class. They are not attentive in the home actually. If you tell them to sit for half an hour for learning, they avoid actually. They always prefer to take fast food. So, my dear colleagues, my dear friends, it is my humble suggestion from my side. I have been invited for this particular program to give a very small message to all of you. At least tell a small message, propagate a small message, throw a small message in your classroom. Always try to prefer to take homemade natural food and fruits. The fruits are rich in antioxidant. The property of antioxidant simply enhances the immunity of the body. They're the best antioxidants. They're the immunity booster actually. If you try to be healthy, if you try to be disease free, take maximum quantity of antioxidant, and the highest quantity of antioxidants are available in vegetables and fruits. Try to take fruits, not the packaged food, including biscuits, toffees, chocolates, pizza, and burger. If you look at the soft drinks, the most dangerous part is soft drink. Now you'll find soft drinks in different packets, Tetra pack, canned, tin pack, and in many sort of designed and colorful packs. Unfortunately, the most toxic and poisonous materials are available or are seen in these soft drinks or cold drinks. To beat the heat in summer, right now, in present day condition, in today's condition, people prefer, children prefer to take soft drinks. Soft drinks contain five components, five toxic materials. Ethylene glycol, number one, ethylene glycol, phosphoric acid, carbonic acid, carbon dioxide, and brominated vegetable oil. Apart from these five uh, intoxicants of the chemicals, other preservatives and other chemicals are also there. Now see, carbon dioxide is coming out from my neck, from my nose, from my body. But by taking these soft drinks actually, which are, which contain carbon dioxide, we take it. So my dear friends, look at the situation of the quantum or intensity of intoxicating our body by ourselves. So this is the application of Indian knowledge, and Indian knowledge was completely based on nature, natural surrounding, and they simply believe on conserving nature by worshipping plants, by worshipping hills, by worshipping sun, by worshipping moon, by worshipping water, by worshipping forest. So that is the best part of our life, that the best part of our lifestyle. They had all these entities of our surrounding, they they had developed, they are developing, creating, generating beautiful body, beautiful life, and healthy life. So my humble request to all of you, let us be healthy. Let us we may not be healthy actually. Let us be healthy by taking healthy food. I repeat, by concluding this particular slide, that what exactly is food? I repeat actually, that which nourishes the body, that which is digested, that which nourishes the body, that which promotes growth and development, that which doesn't create any health hazard. Look at milk. It contains now synthetic milk. It was first reported in India in 1996. This synthetic milk now you'll find in many places of the country actually. In many parts of the state, in different states and many parts of the country. And unfortunately, the synthetic milk contains three components, three chemicals. Number one is urea, caustic soda, and shampoo. If you take urea, caustic soda, and mix it with shampoo, you will get beautiful milk and cannot simply differentiate between natural milk and synthetic milk. So, my dear friends, look at the small things actually. And there was a time when people are believing taking natural milk, but today you will find artificial milk, synthetic milk, artificial paneer. Now, people, those who are vegetarian, they are telling vegetarian means I believe in taking paneer, but believe that whether it is artificial paneer or synthetic paneer. So experiment that one, experience on that particular subject, and try to take everything to take care of health. And healthy people are wealthy people. It's my small message to all of you. Healthy people are wealthy people, and wealthy people cannot be healthy people actually. So try to take healthy food. Now, if you look at the next slide, our next slide is the spirit of Indian knowledge. What exactly is the spirit of Indian knowledge? Indians believe on one thing, they are simply contented in a small quantum of thing, and they were able to adjust to any circumstance, any situation, and any ambience actually. Therefore, there is a saying, there is a proverbial statement from my side. This is my personal proverb actually. Minimum requirement with maximum adjustment. Indians still believe today minimum requirement with maximum adjustment. But today the modern people, modern Indians, so-called modern Indians, they believe in maximum requirement with minimum adjustment. Therefore, they are not happy actually. So, my dear friends, simply take you back to your ancient time, minimum requirement with maximum adjustment. How can I be content and satisfied with minimum requirement? In your home, don't keep lot of things actually. Make it spacious. Don't pack it. Don't load the home or your reading room with lot of materials. That will create congestion and suffocation. So believe in minimum requirement with maximum adjustment. Next, there is also another proverb actually which is also coined by me. So there is a saying, discipline without education is better than education without discipline. I repeat, discipline without education is more important. Discipline without education is better than education without discipline. If you keep this particular aspect in mind, there is another proverb developed by me. Discipline without knowledge is better than knowledge without discipline. So Indians were based on three aspects: C, D, and E. There are three alphabets, in my opinion. Indian knowledge was based on alphabets C, D, and E. C stands for character, D stands for discipline, and E stands for ethics. So Indians strictly they were believing and they were of the belief character, discipline, and ethics. Somehow, because of certain problem or advancement, we have lost these three basic characters. Let us think of this one and let us take ourselves back and be serious for these three particular alphabets C, D, and E. Now, our next slide speaks on the nucleus of the knowledge. Nucleus of the knowledge means I've already defined what exactly is knowledge. Knowledge is equal to courage plus righteousness plus creativity plus confidence. Our knowledge should be such, our learning should be such that it must be informative, must be educative, must be inquisitive, must be effective, must be productive, and must be predictive. What I would like to say is this particular slide, this particular picture speaks when I learn by you, when I learn from my teachers or my students actually, I should learn in such a way I can expect I learn this thing, I can apply this thing in my day-to-day life. I can, in return, I can get some. I can predict. I can do this thing. So that is what exactly known as skill. That is what exactly known as practice. That is what exactly known as sadhana. So that is this six aspects are the nucleus of Indian knowledge. Now let me take you back to another aspect actually. What exactly is knowledge? Knowledge means acquired belief, that which is known, information or instruction, enlightenment or learning, practice or skill, or practice and skill, and acquaintance. I repeat, what exactly is the knowledge? What's the definition of knowledge? Acquired belief, that which is known, information or instruction or both, enlightenment and learning, practice and skill or practice along with skill, and acquaintance. These are all what exactly is the definition of knowledge. Now, what is the beauty of knowledge? There is a saying by our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, learning, learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. So all the great people means the people to whom we believe and consider and adjust their knowledgeable means that learning part is first of all very sound. Therefore, I repeat actually, former President Dr. APJ, according to our former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. My dear friends, We may not be great actually, but we should try to learn appropriately and systematically, and we should try to disseminate to our society, to our wife, to our wives, to our children, to our own students perfectly, so that our society can be a perfect society. Indian society can be a holistic society actually. So I've already told the definition of knowledge. Knowledge is equal to courage plus righteousness plus creativity, and along with that, I have added confidence. Now this is a slide actually which is alphabetically based: 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, and 3M. Indian knowledge is also perfectly based on 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, and 3M. 3A means when we want to make ourselves knowledgeable, or when we disseminate knowledge to the society or to our friends or colleagues actually, first of all, there should be a sense of appreciation, affection, and attention actually. Maybe on any aspect of the knowledge, any aspect of the topic actually, there should be affinity, attachment, recognition, cognition. There should be 3A means appreciation, affection, and attention or attraction, so that we will be knowledgeable and we can also disseminate systematically. 3B means when we try to improve knowledge, our body and mind should be particularly loaded with this learning ability or learning capability. So when we think of this subject, we should feel, through the blood, through the bone, through the brain and body actually, blood, blood, bone, brain, and body should be amalgamated with our learning, our involvement and dedication actually. Then during our transaction process in the class or in the home or in the family or in any forum actually, we should look at extremely careful for 3C, and we should emphasize on negating or saying no to 3C. What are these 3Cs? Complain, compare, and compete. I should not compare with any of my friends. I should not compare with my wife. I should not compare with anybody. I should not compete with anybody. I should not, you know, I should not complain also. So, complain, compare, and compete. The last one is wrongly printed actually. Compete. Instead of complete, it should be compete. I am extremely sorry for this inconvenience. I repeat, 3C means don't complain, don't compare, don't compete actually. I should be unique. I should try to improve my knowledge and skill in such a way. I should be unique in the world. I should be unique in my family. I should be unique in my institution. So if we compare, complain, and compete actually, that creates negativity. We will come down. We cannot go up. Then the next part is 3D. 3D means dedication, devotion, and determination. I should do it. I should be a winner. Always a winner looks at himself, but a non-winner looks at a winner actually. So this is the difference between a winner and a non-winner. I repeat, a winner exclusively looks at himself, but a non-winner looks at a winner. So whether we all will be a winner or a non-winner, try to decide yourself at your level. Finally, last part of this particular slide is 3M. We have to emphasize, our traditional ancient people had emphasized on this M. M means my mother, my mother earth, my mother tongue. We should not ignore, we should not hesitate in respecting our mother country, mother nature, and mother tongue. Now, in a lighter sense, let me tell you something about some proverbs about knowledge. The first is there is a common saying: knowledge is power. Actually, absolutely true. Those who are knowledgeable, they are recognized and appreciated by the society. Actually, so knowledge is power is the first common proverb. Second one, knowledge is like a garden. Actually, if you look at this slide, you'll find first proverb which is reflected here. Knowledge is like a garden. It is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. Second, If you have knowledge, actually, let others light their candles in it. This can only be done, achieved, and fulfilled by you. Third, the only true wisdom is in knowledge you know nothing. This particular statement, proverb, is given by Socrates, a great person of the world. Fourth, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Those who are less knowledgeable will find they keep on telling so many things. Those who are knowledgeable, they are silent. They are good listeners actually. If you look at two words, silent and listen, you will find it consists of the same alphabets, but two most powerful words, silent and listen. We should be careful for these two words. So little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Fifth, learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Last one, the sixth one, the purpose of education and learning is to make a good human being with skill and expertise. This particular statement is developed by Abdul Kalam. The objective or the purpose of learning is to be a good human being. Please look at this sentence, which is emphasized by Dr. Kalam. The purpose of learning is to make a good human being with skill and expertise. If I'm learning from you, I should develop my skill and expertise in such a way I can do small things in my home, in certain areas, in certain platform from my side, without depending on a helper or a technician actually. So the skills are to be developed, and Indians were skillful by virtue of their own practice and by sadhana. Probably we are approaching towards almost the last part actually. One or two more slides are there actually. Uh, See, if you look at the Indian knowledge system or Indians, you'll find a remarkable and a very wonderful feature. Now we are trying our best to be westernized actually, looking at western part. Now there is a strong difference, remarkable difference between west and east. You will find west is the master of the nature actually. They believe we are the master of the nature. We can destroy, degrade, and devastate like anything without realizing the importance of the gravity or the weightage of the nature, the contribution of the nature actually. Because of nature, we are here. Because of the nature, animals are there. Plural, because of flora and fauna, we cannot survive actually. That part should be emphasized, should be strengthened. So, West is the master of the nature, whereas the East is the part of the nature. So, our origin is the nature actually. We have our origin. We have originated from the natural surrounding, from the natural environment, from the river, from the forest, from the jungle, from the hills, from the streams, from the springs, everywhere actually. But this is degraded or this is not. That must be protected. That must be preserved. And our ancient people preserved that one through their perseverance, patience, and worship actually. So let us take ourselves, at least we should not ignore these natural things. We should worship that. So for West, life is linear, and for the East, life is circular. So same circular process actually we have to maintain, and we should observe actually. Our
Let me interrupt you at this point, sir. Very nice quote. In fact, discipline without knowledge is better than knowledge without discipline.
yes, of
So
course.
we Indians know very well that knowledge or science is a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
and it should be used for the welfare of the mankind. Though India is a superpower in nuclear energy, we are using it very productively to generate electricity and reach out to the nook and corner of the country in remote areas. And that is where we underline the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
strongly believe in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, sir.
I would like to inform the viewers to use the chat box to put in their queries, if any, regarding this topic, so that will be addressed by the honorable guest towards the ending of this program. Over to you, sir. Please continue.
Sir, thank you very much. Actually, this particular statement which you have remembered, you have got a powerful brain. How did you grasp instantly? That was not there in my slide actually. It instantly came to my mind. My purpose was emphasizing on a point actually. Discipline without education is better than education without discipline. So, my dear friends, we have to speak this particular thing in each class. So that can beautify everybody in future actually. So once more, I also extend my thanks to you actually. That I had forgotten yesterday night. I thought of telling the main purpose, the objective of Indians, ancient Indians, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Now today you will find our Prime Minister is emphasizing on a particular point. If you look at this particular side, one earth, one family, one future. The essence of the cream of this particular theme is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means when we are living in a particular surrounding or environment or a habitat, actually, we have to worship, we have to accept our surrounding, means water, air, soil, and nature, actually. So that when they will be perfect and pure, actually, obviously we will be pure. When we impurify, intoxicate our surrounding like air, water, and soil, actually, we will definitely be intoxicated. We are already intoxicated and we are really suffering from disastrous diseases. And shortly you will find I am apprehensive of one situation. We will definitely, I'm expecting, I'm sorry to say this hard sentence, we will, I'm expecting human beings to extinct in a short period like dinosaurs. Unless nature is protected, unless we maintain our environment perfectly well. So, with this, I would like to conclude by telling, uh, believing a peace, believing a peaceful world. So, thank you very much. So I'll be extremely happy if I face good number of questions from a very small man like me. Thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with you, to speak a few words from my own experience actually, and I'll be extremely happy to update my knowledge through your beautiful questions if I'll be able to answer. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. In fact, while you are presenting, I was thinking that the deep-rooted culture, traditions, and customs of our country, how beautifully they are embedded in the with scientific knowledge.
Yeah.
Whatever customs we follow, they have a strong scientific base.
Yes.
You have given example of food, Indian cuisine in your slide, where we have a wonderful Indian cuisine. If you take the case of Northeast culture, where they have different food habits, Western India cuisine, or northern part or the southern part of our country, they are having very rich cuisine, which is designed entirely with the locally available material, and we never had any artificial additives or preservatives, and very naturally curated cuisines. That was a simple example of the Indian knowledge system. And would you like to talk something about the a tradition or a custom in our country which we follow, which has a strong scientific base?
So thank you very much for a beautiful question actually. See, let us see Odisha. Let us see northern part of the country, northern part of India and southern part of India. In Odisha, you will find mixed varieties of traditional food. If you look at southern India, you will find idli and dosa. This is fermented product actually. And South Indians they strongly believe in taking, at least in breakfast, idli and dosa and vada. These are fermented things actually. This contains good quantum of yeast and some good quantum of enzymes, which maintains intestinal flora actually. If you look at Odisha, we take pokhal bhat, stale rice, that is completely loaded with, packed with enzymes, yeast, and fermented water actually. This particular thing, idli or dosa, idli and dosa, vada, and our you know pakhal bhat or stale rice actually, it maintains intestinal flora because they're rich in enzymes. This this maintains actually intestine. You can defecate, you can go to the toilet comfortably. But if you take good quantum of chicken, there was a time chicken was not a permissible food product. But today, you will find chicken is a common item for which colorectal cancer is profuse in USA, and now Indians believe in taking varieties of chicken in varieties of names, and they are suffering from colorectal problem. If you look at northern part and southern part also, in their breakfast they take curd actually. This is uh, this is rich in some bacteria actually, lactobacillus bacteria, which maintains our intestine part perfectly well. So each time South Indians they believe in taking in lunch or dinner actually curd. Curd means antioxidant. Curd means some organisms which can maintain our intestinal floral diversity. So traditional food actually look at all different varieties of cakes, different varieties of fries, different designed homemade products actually that has come through the culture by worshipping, by offering to the god. So these things are to be maintained actually, and we should think of bringing those products to our society, to our culture in different parts of the state, as per the convenience, as per the tradition, so that we can enrich our health system actually. Homemade food through traditional food actually, through traditional knowledge.
Thank you, Professor Mohanty. In fact, I could see the chat box. Our audience are all with appreciations and praises about the informative session. Thank you so much. The great responsibility of making the children, younger generation, imbibe the value of Indian knowledge system is definitely lying on the teachers. And we at Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, teachers are working hard to see that our children, our younger generation are getting all these values along with the knowledge that we impart day in and day out. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time to participate in today's webinar on Indian knowledge systems, which was organized as a part of the Sadhana Saptaha under Mission Karma Yogi program. Thank you so much. On behalf of KVS-ZIET Bhubaneswar, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you and also the viewers who are watching this webinar live directly and indirectly. I thank all of them for sparing their valuable time and being a part of this webinar program. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you.